Okay, so the first thing was about the evolution, and it says that he basically had very little knowledge about evolutionary biology, yet you argued against evolution. My only thing on the other hand would be to say that why should we argue for evolution when in reality we know very little about that as well? Your average person going through high school knows the definition of evolution, but they don't know how it got there. They don't know why. There's a big question around the whole thing. I'm not saying that you're right or wrong, but I'm just saying in my defense, I don't see why I should switch to evolution just because some guys out there said it's a good idea. You know what I mean? The Bible says that it's a bad idea, but to tell you the truth, I kind of know equal amounts on both sides of the argument. So if I kind of choose to take a side, it's based on my knowledge. I'm not a scientist. I don't care to be a scientist. So, you kind of have to be okay. And some points, unless you plan on in your lifetime being an expert on every single aspect, you have to at some point take somebody's word for it. I can't fault you for whose word you did take, but I have to say that in my defense, um, I would argue against evolution. But on the other hand, if I believed in it, I wouldn't have anything to defend it with either because I don't know. So I would have to see more proof, which I don't think is there. Let's see. Vigorously denied the existence of thousands of gods claimed by other religions. I don't think that's supported by the Bible. The Bible says, "Are ye all not gods?" And the Bible says, "Thou shalt not have any other gods before me." Any other gods. So the Bible itself is not denying the existence of any other gods. You have to take the Bible literally. And when I read it, it says God's little g, but there's tons of other little g gods all over the Bible. So sometimes I feel like people believe in Christianity and don't really read the whole Bible. If you actually read the whole Bible, you see the Bible never denies the existence of other gods. It just states that they are not King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Get it? That's why he had the title King of Kings. He's not denying there's not other kings out there. He is top dog. That's what he's saying. Okay. As a Christian, I felt insulted and dehumanized when scientists said that humans evolved from other life forms. I was so young when I was taught evolution that I didn't necessarily feel dehumanized. I didn't think about it till long after I had accepted beliefs about evolution that is possible. I didn't think about the fact of the creation, although I've always been a Christian. I didn't ever think about creationism until halfway through college. And I'm a science major, nursing science. Um, as a Christian, I laughed at polytheists. The Bible actually says you shouldn't laugh at other people's misfortune. If you agree that polytheism is a misfortune, you still shouldn't laugh at it because you really could easily be caught up in the same uh, situation. That's more of a long predestination argument, but um, since you felt like you had the audacity to laugh at other people because they didn't know enough information, I would say then I don't know the where your belief in Christianity was coming from. It wasn't really coming from a godly place because God got angry at us when we didn't believe. But those are people who already believed. If you don't know God, you know, I think God, like He does now, gives people a chance. We have to act like how we see God acting. And how I see God acting today is giving everybody a chance. Okay? As a Christian, I got upset when I heard of the violence attributed to Islam. But when I. But okay, I understand what that's about. In the Bible, there's a lot of bloody things. Some people believe in error. Some people believe that the Old Testament was an error, and when Jesus came along, He ended a certain era. That's kind of like the idea that I go along. That after Jesus came, even though Jesus Himself says that He didn't come to erase the law, He came to fulfill the law. But I know that there was a difference. I know that there was more love, and I know that Jesus came for the Gentiles. There was no salvation for the Gentiles before Jesus. So to tell you the truth, before Jesus, we were all really kind of worthless, um, and better off dead. After Jesus, we had a chance at salvation. So then you can't really just kill us because you're ruining our chance. So I think that's what changed from God saying kill all the people who are worthless to God saying wait, and I think that there's going to time when the wait stops and it's going to go back and he's going to say again, kill all the people who don't believe in me. Let's see. Um, I think the only thing that bothers me about Islam is that they're doing it for the 70 virgins. And to top it off, there are Muslims who say that the people who kill in the name of Allah are actually not really following the Quran. So if I were to truly take the opinion and respect another Muslim, then I would listen to these other Muslims who are saying these terrorists are not true Muslims. So that's actually not even a Christian belief. That just depends on how much you're willing to respect the other person. So you could still get upset about it if you wanted to. Hindu believes that, I guess, saying that humans are gods are silly. I agree with that. I actually think it's more self-destructive. I don't really think that it's silly. You have a lot of belittling statements um, as a Christian towards people who aren't Christian. That, again, is like along the lines of predestination, but you should, as a Christian who's been chosen by God, you should feel blessed. And you shouldn't feel like the whole point of Christianity, when Jesus said, do you love me? Well, then feed my sheep. Get the lost. Take care of the orphans and the widows. Like, God didn't say laugh at them. Let's see. I was willing to spend my life looking for loopholes in the scientifically established age of the Earth, which is a few billion years. I don't agree the Earth is a few billion years old either, but I can't prove it. And at the same time, the Bible also says you shouldn't spend time with meaningless arguments. So who cares? It's 6,000, a few billion. I won't live to understand fully the concept of either one. So it doesn't matter. I ignored textual scholars that showed evidence that the Bible was not a reliable source. Well, I haven't heard those people, and I'm sure they're out there. But there are also people out there who say that the Bible is a fairly reliable source. And with some stuff in history, they actually use the Bible to verify some of those events. They'll say this happened in biblical times, this was along times of this and that. I don't really know. And like I said before, there are loopholes in everything. You can write a research article right now, and even if it was, written in gold, it'd still only have like 98%, surety. There's always room for, mistakes. Like if you did, like they did this recent study on a vaccine for AIDS, and they did it in China, and it was like 37% effective, which was like great because they're like, now we can start working on a viable vaccination for AIDS. But the thing, it was done in China, so people were saying that, or using that as a weakness for the study because it was only done on Chinese, and they're like, how do you know it's going to work on the same alleles for white people and for blacks? You know what I mean? There's always room for mistakes when you're human. I thought that the double-blind study showing prayer completely ineffective were diversions from Satan. I think prayer is more of an individual thing. I don't really know about the double blind. I wouldn't want anybody studying my prayer. And to tell you the truth, everything that I pray about, I wouldn't tell some scientists everything I'm praying about. I don't know. And then God also says in the Bible that he would confound the wisdom of the wise. Because I think at a certain point, God just got tired of everybody. And he's like, you're not going to be able to figure me out. You're not going to be able to figure out when the end of days is. And you're not going to be able to pin me down. He's God. He can do that. So you kind of have to take his word for him. And you kind of have to use this as an example to say, well, we can't pin him down. Just like that guy that tried to sue God. God said there's nothing, no plan that can succeed against the Lord, right? And the guy tried to sue God, and it got dismissed because the guy said that, because the judge said that God can't be summoned, he can't be served. And then the guy appealed on the basis that he's omnipotent, he should know. It was dismissed, so even though we would say it's a stupid belief to believe in the Bible, that verse was correct. Let's see. I knew little more about my religion than what I heard in church. That's not the best thing in the world to do. I would suggest that, I feel like a lot of Christians do that, and that doesn't make you Christian. And if you go to Christian so that you don't have to go to hell, that doesn't make you Christian. That makes you selfish. That makes you self-serving. That's just kind of the way I see